We're about to start, guys. Just seconds away now from entering the realistic battle part here. It's a Gladiator Super Cup loser bracket round 5 versus their Adler and SOWAR realistic battles. And it looks to be the LA5F that they're going to be flying in. I really hope I didn't get that wrong. It looked to be that way for a second. And as always, it's Scream112 and Average Adam from Metagamingtv.
Hello guys.
Just waiting for them to spawn in.
Okay, it is the LA5.
And it is, wherever wins between these guys, go to round 6 where white rhinoceroses are waiting.
You can easily
And
tell this
whoever
is
wins
realistic because of the decals.
I love that huge gladiator decal on the bottom of the plane on the THG flying out for DA. He's facing Kote flying out for SOWAR. And they're going low instantly here.
I have a feeling that since I know you can snap your wings in realistic.
Look at how quickly they turn.
Right, and that leads me on to my point that I know this is realistic and they can snap their wings, but obviously I don't think they can snap them as easily. But I feel that they go low to try and gain.
Do you think there's
momentum.
a difference in how we see the wings snap between
I
realistic
do.
and simulator? Yeah, I have no idea actually how if there's a difference there.
But I feel like that's why they go down to gain that momentum, to then try and turn as quickly as possible.
Ah, yeah, I see what you mean. And flaps being used heavily here by Kote, who's now directly on the tail of THG. He just dropped his nose, so I couldn't keep it up. Did get some shots off, nothing that seemed to have caused any type of damage. Flaps being used by THG as well. And they're into the spin-off here. Oh! Close being in the crosshair of Kote there. Who just seemingly is much, you know, he just does not let go of this advantage he has. And there you go,
Oh, wow.
crit it!
Oh wow!
And then just decided to let's take the whole wing off.
2 short bursts. Just goes to show just how powerful these 20mm are.
Ah, it is so powerful.
You really do like this plane.
I really do like this.
Why do you like this plane so much?
Because I wreck people with it.
I mean, I know we talk about the BF-109. I mean, we don't hate the BF-109, but obviously it being not as good at turning in. It's not as good at turning as the LA5 is, and that's what
I'm not much of a boom and zoom fighter myself. When I play War Thunder, I don't boom and zoom much. It's not much of my. It's not my forte, right? And this just seemingly is a much better dogfighter in that regard, in my opinion. And it has the firepower. It has the maneuverability. It's overall, I think, a kick-ass plane that, you know, when I fly it, I just feel great.
yeah, no, yeah. Although those cannons don't hold a great deal of rounds because you can expel them quite quickly.
Is a thing. Like, I mean, if you're playing arcade, then you obviously reload and all that stuff, right? But if you're,
Right.
you know, if you bring this into, I mean, if we're talking realistic battles, then you got to return to airfield. So you got to be really, you know, short bursts. You know, have a good aim, stuff like that. But if you feel confident in that, you can take down, like, you can do pretty well before you have to return to airfield to reload. You just gotta be, you know, if you as a player prefer to spray and pray or just, you know, do long bursts, then obviously this is not the plane for you, because it does not hold that much ammunition.
No.
And we're about to get ready here, waiting for them to spawn in. It's cooler flying out for DA versus Lone Eagle for SOWAR.
A very.
Was it DA who took the first leg? I did not check out which who shot who. I think it was THG, right?
That round went really quick. I think you're correct.
Correct us if we're wrong. I'm pretty sure it was DA took the first leg. I actually entirely missed that, and I did not even notice if there was an official ruling anywhere. But that's what I
see. That's what I normally look for, and that's what normally sticks in my head.
Exactly. They pass each other. The upward turns. These guys did not go downwards for much momentum, and they're doing exactly. Look at that. They're even rolling the same. Like that was like a mirror. This is what do you call this?
Figure skating with planes.
Figure skating with planes. Exactly.
So, aerobatics.
You know, all we need now is, you know, some Disney type of music. You know.
I was going to say Red Arrows or Blue Angels, but sure, Disney music works well too.
Yeah, or what's it called? Oh yeah, tailspin, tailspin.
No, stop.
Da, 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 da.
So, Lone Eagle using those flaps.
Yes. And Cooler is not, because he's cool.
He's too cool for flaps.
Too cool for flaps.
Although that might be the downfall of cool.
Yeah, it totally is.
You just can't be too cool for flaps. Flaps are life.
Flaps. I mean, flaps is pretty much it. Like if you're in, you're it. If you're it, you're using flaps.
Although Lone Eagle definitely doesn't want to spray too much.
If he doesn't
more.
hit him here now, he's gonna stall out.
He is still gonna stall out.
And
he's just spraying.
And oh, but
wow.
The crit though. Will the crit be enough?
I feel like that was pretty lucky.
It is exactly enough. And again, he's using landing flaps, or yeah, to just stay on the tail here and let's just finish this job. And you know, that's kind of it.
That's all she wrote.
And that gives SOWAR the one win they need. So it's now 1-1 in the legs, meaning that, you know, it's still anyone's game. The thing about the Hurricane, guys, is that it doesn't just hold 1 or 2 7mm. It holds, let me think, it's 12 of them? I think it's...
Yes.
Oh, wait.
No.
12? It's
yes.
6 on each wing?
Yes. Because the Spitfire is 8, 4 on each wing.
Is the Hurricane 6 on each wing?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, because the Spitfire is 4.
And you know the Hurricane has more?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
that depends on which one, if you're talking about the Mark 1 or Mark 2. The Mark 2 has more.
Yeah, I think that's the one. And, you know, it's only 7mm, but yeah, but when you're getting a few hundreds per second thrown at you, is like, it's good enough.
Yeah, it's those 12 7.7s.
It's more the quantity rather than the caliber.
Right, they're 2 kilos per second burst mass.
Mm-hmm.
So that's almost as much as, say...
It's a minigun. It is crazy.
I think a Buffalo at that level.
Hmm.
So a Buffalo does fire quite a few 50 cals.
Hmm. Anywho, we were apparently wrong with the first round. SOWAR is up 2 legs.
Oh, just a little over. Okay.
Which means that actually if SOWAR wins this one, they actually have the entire 1 versus 1 round 1 and gets the first point. So it's actually DA here who is on the ropes and have to win to have a chance of getting the first point.
And yes, I don't know why we were talking about Hurricanes and Spitfires, but yeah.
It was Twitch chat. Twitch chat brought it up.
Then yeah. I love me my British planes. Funnily enough, being British, you know, it's kind of like a requirement. You gotta like British planes no matter how bad they are.
Yeah, me
in the
being
video games.
Swedish though, I can like every plane.
Yeah, well, that's because your Air Force isn't ever represented.
No, not in this game.
Or Sweden.
Oh, well, we're one of the top manufacturers of what do you call it? Like, well, airplanes today. Make some of the best jet fighters there is, or jet planes overall. Oh well. Only competitor is actually United States. Which, funny enough, the United States jet planes that they manufacture eat a whole lot more fuel than ours does.
America.
Yeah, exactly. Funny side note. America, like, oh, gasoline is good for you. Alright. It is Falcon flying for SOWAR versus Colossus Rhodos for DA.
So as you said, SOWAR are up 2 legs to DA's 0.
Mm-hmm.
So DA really do need a win here and a win in the next round. Otherwise, SOWAR is going to take the first point in this game.
Exactly.
I mean, even then, even if DA do win this one and the next one, they then need to win the third one. So
if they both crash in this one, DA has to win. SOWAR has to win.
Yeah.
SOWAR has the point. Yeah. So with that, if I was Falcon, I would not mind a head-on.
No.
I would just go like, sure.
But I must say, I'm not too worried about them and terrain in this one as I was in the other round, because them being in obviously realistic and in third person, they have a
They
much...
should be able to see it.
Right, they have a much better...
Yeah. I was gonna say...
As we see Falcon dive towards trees.
And I was gonna say, like, you know, I mean, there is no excuse in third-person view to go like, oh, I did not see the terrain coming on there, you know. But obviously, they're, you know, they might be just like us trying to keep an eye on the guy on their tail, on the, you know, where they are.
I
still,
agree, but
feel
yet
like there should
disagree.
be no
like,
excuse.
like in simulator, you're obviously locked in that cockpit.
Flaps is being used though.
You gotta really look for your opponent. Like, you've got to look 1,000 times harder in simulator than you do in...
Oh yeah. I'm not agreeing. I'm not disagreeing there. I'm just
so when
saying,
somebody accidentally hits the terrain in simulator, you're like, oh,
and
they
here
could have
we
been
go.
doing something else.
Here we go. This could be all that Colas need. Obviously, hitting is also something you need.
Yes, hitting is one of the biggest parts of gladiator tournaments. There we go.
Which he just decided to do. Bloop. Pilot jumped out.
I feel like...
Oh, there you go. DA took a leg. DA took a leg, and that will be. We'll see another 1v1 where DA again has to win to be able to get a point.
I'm not really too sure why... Who was his opponent? Kotus. Kotus? No. Falcon. I'm not really too sure why Falcon started flying straight. You'd have thought he would have carried on in the corkscrew and sort of dived rather than carry on going straight. Like, going straight seems a little bit foolish because he kind of left him in his sights.
We're obviously also talking about, you know, the things we're mentioning and commentating on here is obviously with the taking into consideration the weather they have on this particular map in this tournament. We're obviously not talking about how things would be if there was low clouds and stuff like that, where obviously things are different.
Right.
This is clear weather. There's no excuse for hitting a mountain.
You can't. Yeah, you can't say ifs and ands. Like, if this had been cloudy, I would have had a much better chance because my opponent wouldn't have seen me. That's like...
No, it was a guy on Twitch chat going like, oh, they
no, I know.
have no clue about how it is to fly in low clouds.
I'm backing you up. Like, you can't just say if there's clouds, then this is going to happen.
Ifs and diffs and shits.
Yeah.
It does not matter.
We don't work in what ifs.
Alright, the fourth 1v1. Yet again, DA on the ropes. SOWAR winning this gives them the point. DA winning this extends it into another 1v1.
So we
And
got
it is Dimugen. Oh, sorry, Dimugen versus Senate. Senate flying out for SOWAR and Dimugen flying out for DA. And head on, almost. I looked like Dimugen were like looking at Senate there. He was like already pointing his nose at him. He was obviously coming down for more energy. Senate is doing the upward climb. It looks better for Senate, almost not really anymore. And I think they're now in the whoa wait wow, the Dimugen is definitely getting bullets off, and he critted him already. That is the left aileron on Senate that's been damaged.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if Zenit was looking for a head-on now from this point onwards. Because turn fighting is just a no-go.
I mean, I'm not sure if he knows that, you know, them colliding with each other does give SOWAR the win overall, but that is definitely what he could be looking for if he knows. Not sure if his teammates is on TeamSpeak helping him with that information, but at this point, I'm not sure, it's not easy to get a head-on. Because Dimugen is on his tail, or, you know, just overall behind him in this in the scissors.
But again, you can't really, in identical planes with damage, try and go up against somebody in a pristine plane. Like, it's just not going to work. But I'm not really too sure how he's going to manage to get away, then try and get that head-on scenario.
Yeah. No, the aileron damage is just enough. See, more damage. The damage overall is just not enough. It's just enough for Dimugen to feel very, very safe. I mean, there's really nothing that, you know, is gonna change this unless Dimugen fucks up and crashes or disconnects even, which he probably isn't doing at this very second, where he just shot him down. Dimugen taking the leg for DA, extending this into a fifth 1 versus 1. Whoever wins the next one gets the point. There's no other way about it.
Unless they start ramming into each other constantly.
Yeah, that happens so often.
Oh yeah. The 20-minute 1v1 rematch because there was 5 guys ramming into each other.
Guys in Twitch chat, do you have a favorite? Who do you want to see win? Do you want to see either Adler or SOWAR win this match and progress in the tournament?
Rambo boy, we didn't make it to the Super Cup finals. I'm sorry to tell you. You're a little bit late on that information.
I agree with Drageth, where at least in this particular match, I do not have a favorite. I don't care who wins. I just want to see some good flying and some good combat. That's what I'm here for. Acclamator wants to see their Adler win. And Milanic Jr. Also wants to just see a good, interesting, and full of honor battle. Full of honor.
Ramming?
The honorable rhymes. Alright. We have Kolos Rodos getting the the trust from his team, I guess, to fly out here versus Lone Eagle, who is the one representing SOWAR. Collis representing DA. They're past each other, they're turning. And it did look good for Lone Eagle for a second. Looks like Collis is slightly so on the tail. He's using the flaps to great extent, which, well, there is flaps being used by both players, but there's much more flaps and much more flap action happening on Collis here, and he's just about. Oh, look at this! Oh no, never mind. That was ways off. It looked good, but he just wasn't as good as I thought it would be. Flaps being used heavily. He's turning them on and off. Flaps, combat landing, and just needs to connect more with those bullets. No visual damage yet done.
So I mean, it's difficult because I'm not in their position. But you saw how sort of Kolos was, you know, using those flaps to try and stop himself from overshooting and try and stay behind. Well, if I was Lone Eagle, I would have maybe tried to dive, because he would have then had to have remembered to turn off the flaps. You would have broken away a little bit. Like, you would have had that extra little bit of space, making it slightly harder to aim. You then might have been able to have found a position with that extra momentum to either climb, maybe cause him to stall out, or you know, maybe use that into a turn to try and turn faster. I mean,
isn't it hard to know if your opponent is how much flaps are using though?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, if you look behind him, I'm sure he probably would have seen the fact that there's this massive, essentially extra wing underneath. Underneath Kolos, so he probably would have had a slight idea what flaps were going on. I mean, again, I'm just saying ifs and ands. Nothing is going to change the fact that Kolos did some excellent flying using those flaps to stop the overshoot.
They're taking a 5-minute break. The first point, however, did go to Der Adler, who won the tiebreaker there. They're taking a 5-minute break. Mostly common we have that between 2 versus 2 and 4 versus 4, but that's what's going to be next though. 2 versus 2 is going to be next. Well, as always, we'll take this opportunity to mention the Sighting and Rocket sponsors sponsoring the tournament with the you know, the prices for the tournament as well. You're getting joysticks from Cytec. You're getting the Rocket Tie and Mouse from Rockcat for ending up in the. It depends on if it's realistic or simulator, but pretty much ending up in the top 3 gets you freaking stuff, which is amazing. We're gonna take a quick look at the Rocket Tie and Mouse, which has 16 buttons and a fin switch, which makes me all like, It's innovative and it's interesting. We've mentioned this many times before. And what do you guys think? Do you guys think the fin switch is an interesting innovation in mouse technology? Let us know in Twitch chat, and we'll have a look at the video.
Meet the Rocket Tie-On, featuring the brand new Rocket Accelerator analog thumb paddle, giving you unrivaled command capabilities. The new Rocket Fin Switch, letting you execute multiple maneuvers at the same time. 4 ergonomic top buttons, instinctively placed so that you can hunt for prey, not for buttons. Meet the new standard in gaming mouse control.
While somebody in Twitch chat asks if this game has an 11 million prize pool, it doesn't. But it does have some pretty awesome gaming mice, as we just saw. And as Scream said before we had a look at the video.
Yeah, I mean the esport per definition, and tournaments per definition isn't defined for the prize pool at all, though. Like, I mean, there's plenty of what's that game? Hearthstone, for example, has like if you wanna be competitive and play tournaments in that game, you can play like 5 tournaments every day. There's so many tournaments for that game online, obviously. I think there's even like a daily, like, I think it's a $10 tournament, like daily, where like the winner gets $10. It's like, psh, you know, it's more like a, what do you call that? It's not like, what is the word? English, Adam. You're British. Tell me what's it called? Why is it $10? Why is it a $10 price? It's not for the money. It's more as a
experience.
Whatever. Yeah, you don't know.
Sure. Sorry.
Doesn't matter.
Incentive.
No, it's
Funtime.
symbolical. I don't
Okay.
know, like
Symbolic.
like, you know, like it's more, it's just there for something to be there, you know, because obviously I would not join the tournament for the $10, but rather for the competitive gameplay, you know. So it's more a symbolical thing that, oh, we have a prize, it's $10, you know. But still, some of the top Hearthstone players play it like every day. Like if you go into that one, you'll have you just won't have an easy time. Like you might be like, this is the amateur league. Nope. Like you have the best of the best, like pretty much playing that daily as practice, because it's better practice than the ladder. So Ryzen even like ended up top 3 like a few times in that, and like won it, stuff like that. So ethics. We're all trying to help me with my English. Thank
Bragging
you.
rights.
Bragging rights, yeah. But that's just what I mean, though. Like you know, it doesn't have to have huge prize pools. Like people just want to have competitive experience and gameplay, and that's what's so awesome. And obviously, with the growth of War Thunder, like the fact we already see prices like, you know, a shit ton of Golden Eagles, bundles, in-game stuff, which is easy for Gaijin to, what do you call it, to give to the teams. Plus, you have Cytic and Rocket sponsoring the tournament with hardware prices. Hey, that's awesome. That's all you need, right? And with the game growing, then that's pretty much it. Like, you know, there's, you know, I foresee a future with bigger, better tournaments, which I think will be this. This will be it. Like, we'll see Gladiator keep growing in popularity, and with the growth, I think we'll eventually see real money prices actually, and maybe even offline events. I foresee that. That's gonna happen. It's just not a matter. It's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when will that happen. But I do know that, you know, the motivation and the ambition for the organizers behind the Gladiator tournament is to eventually be able to host offline events. For example, at DreamHack and stuff like that.
Just a quick word. There is 1 minute until the game is back on from the break.
And it also depends on which server you play on. And okay, the question or the comment in Twitch chat for those watching the VOD was that it seems more people are playing tanks. It takes almost forever to get a match in air battles. I don't have the stats to back anything of that up, but you could theorize that tanks is more popular at the moment since it's the newer thing, and it's been around in PC games. And been very huge in other titles as well, which is why you might be seeing a surge right now. But when it comes to the queuing time for airplanes, which is what I play the most, it comes down to when during the day you play and on which server. Like, I can be on the European server, and as it gets later, I'll move on to play on the US server or both, or queue up on both, and I never have any problem queuing up. And this is for arcade and realistic battles. I do not play simulator, so I obviously can't tell in my experience there. But when it comes to realistic and arcade, I don't have a problem with getting into matches. But it also depends on which rank and all that stuff. There's so many ifs when it comes to that. But being able to know and figure out what is the prime time in what region, and then decide to queue up in the region that has the most players on, that helps a whole lot. And we have Colors, Rodos, and THG flying out for DA. They're flying against COT and Falcon on SOWAR. And this is the first 2 versus 2, guys. THD going for altitude. He's now coming down on COT, actually. While Rhoda seems to be chasing the other guy. And... oh, damage done! Critted! Kolos critted by COT. Wait, what? Actually, okay, I thought THD was just critted COT. COT has been... like, he's damaged, but he's not critted according to the game. Now COT is critically damaged by THD. That just came very late, that battle log. But he's going down. He has like wings and tails and everything damaged. I think that engine is dying too. SOWAR Falcon has been critted by THG as well. In the fuselage, it looked like. Yep, big hole. DA performing very well right now.
Yeah, he's putting in all the work. His teammate being the bait.
And Koda has been shot down, and now Falcon was finished by THG again. Yeah, it seems Collis was acting bait there for a little bit, and that's all she wrote. DA taking the first leg in the 2 versus 2, putting them at the advantage going into the next one. In the next 2 versus 2, SOWAR has to win to extend it into a tiebreaker, while DA, if they win the next 2 versus 2, they get 2 points.
I gotta say, that was a very nice use of teammates there, using Bolos as bait. Especially right at the beginning, so THG did get that height, as you said, and then diving straight away down, critting one enemy, and then straight away swooping down to assist his teammate, critting him too. I mean, it was just very nice. Nice use of teammates. I mean,
it was really good team play there.
Yeah, normally we see 2 separate 1v1s straight away.
How does one get into the Gladiator tournament? You pretty much keep an eye on the forums, on Facebook, on the website, because they do announce it when the before the tournament is up. Like what do you call it? They announce on like everywhere, Facebook, launcher, website, forum, everywhere. They announce when teams can sign up for an upcoming Gladiator tournament. And then it's up to you to get a team together, register, sign up, follow like according to the instructions, and have your team get into the tournament, and then just perform, like play well and do well. That's how easy it is. You just sign up. So it just keeps your eyes open. And probably, I mean, I would prepare, like, I would already now go to the forums, read up on the previous tournaments, the upcoming ones, and be like, all right, and get a team together so you are ready. When the sign up opens, you like, bam, done, in. So you don't have to, rush getting people together back then, at that point. Dimugen and Sniper flying out for DA versus Senate and Lone Eagle for SOWAR.
Looks like Demugen and Sniper are going after.
There's been a lot of
Senate.
damage done already on Senate.
Yeah.
His plane is not very flight worthy at the moment. He's coming back around though. Lone Eagle here has to get the Mugen, or well, wow, damage done to the elevators. Is Senate? Senate just doesn't have the maneuver, I think. Lone Eagle might still have it, but he might actually be. Ooh! Yeah, Senate hit the ground. I don't think Lone Eagle can maneuver well enough here to do damage to the Mugen. The Mugen's teammate coming in, doing more damage to the right wing here on Lone Eagle. And I think that's DA being very, very good in these 2 versus 2 matches. Popping smoke already, feeling confident. And that's it. DA taking the 2 points from the 2 versus 2 as well. Putting them in a very good position here. Going to the 4 versus 4, which is worth 3 points. Looking good for DA here. If the 2 versus 2 didn't go by, they might be very, very good in the 4 versus 4 as well.
Oh, they even captured the zone. That's how good they're doing right now. They said, do we want this game to end so quickly? We'll even capture the zone.
Well, they do that, being 2 players alive. It does get capped pretty quickly. Waiting for all to ready up here. Waiting for some official word from the Arbiter 2. Sometimes they take a short break between the 2 versus 2 and 4 versus 4. They had a 5-minute break.
Yeah, I think because they've already had the break.
1 and 2 versus 2. I feel it's not gonna happen.
No.
Not gonna be necessary. So we're just waiting for the word that they now have 30 seconds to ready up and get ready before we go into the 4 versus 4. Adler being 3 points up against SOWAR, who has none. SOWAR now is against the rope. They have to win the 4 versus 4 to extend the series into a tiebreaker and have a chance at staying in the tournament. If DA wins, DA moves on to face White Rhinoceros in the loser bracket final, which will decide who moves on to the grand final. While you know, if DA wins, then SOWAR is out of the tournament. So it's definitely, you know, it's win or lose. You know, the loser here does get to go back home. I mean, they're probably already home, but you know, theoretically, they're out of the tournament. And we're now loading the 4 versus 4. Will SOWAR be able to pull it back? Or will DA take the 3 points and win by a whole 6-0 result?
Whitewashed is the word you're looking for.
Whitewash is the word I'm looking for, apparently. They're all loaded in. It's gonna be Cooler, Demugen, Sniper, THG flying out for DA, Senate, Lone Eagle, Cot, and Falcon flying out for SOWAR. This is it, guys. SOWAR has to win. Stay in the tournament, to have a chance at staying in the tournament. SOWAR loses, DA moves on, and SOWAR is out.
out first shots DA.
Wow, Senate already been shot down.
But Falcon also not looking in a good position.
Falcon critted by Cooler.
Yeah, he's going down. So DA already 2 kills up.
So 2 versus 4 already, looking very, very bad for SOWAR at the moment. And THG is now getting on the tail. Oh, he was fired at by Caught, who might have actually saved Lone Eagle there for a moment. Lone Eagle is now trying to get Sniper. But meanwhile, there is obviously enemy on his tail and, you know, being pulled up like that, and he's done. He's on fire. He's out. Caught being the only guy left. They're just falling apart. He actually did get THG right there. Now he just has to get Cooler in the same angle here. He's just firing those bullets. He's not going to have much ammunition left, even if he makes it. And damage has been done on the left aileron. They're just, you know, whooping up on him right now, and this 1 versus 3 situation that it is just not helpful. They're on his tail, all 3 of them. There's just nothing he can do at this point.
So many
to
20s.
shake them off. So many 20s, so many bullets, so many airplanes, and he's now down for the count, hitting the mountain right there. And DA took the 4 versus 4 in a super quick manner, super solid, super confident. They 6-0'd this entire thing. They whitewashed SOWAR in the round 5 loser bracket match. DA, or Dear Adler as they're called, will be moving on to the round of 6 loser bracket, being played on, it's a loser bracket final you could call it, being played on, was it all the way until Saturday? Let me double check the schedule and realize that yes, on Saturday, on Saturday, we will be having round 6 loser bracket, pretty much loser bracket final in both realistic battle and simulator battle. It's gonna be simulator battle. It's gonna be AD versus MBSI. We're gonna have Dear Adler or DA versus White Rhinoceros. So that's gonna be pretty cool, pretty awesome games. Do not know right